Bam! Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, how goes your Wednesday? Let's see here. Actually, you know what? I think I can bring this over, because I don't think anyone was... There we go. Can actually just have chat up here. Look at that. I can make that work. Whoop. Was it? I haven't been on Discord in a bit. I did see the update. Yeah, no, I just got a notification on Discord like 2 seconds ago. So it didn't wait the weird 20 minutes. Yeah. I love that thing. That's the one where they the eyeballs move, right? Wait, which one? Oh, no. That's the painted on one. That's the painted on one. Oh, you mean the image? Yeah, that was the one that I think. Yeah, the other one had the moving eye, but this was just one of the background ones. So they just painted them on there. I was gonna use the yeah. In any case, this is what you got to look forward to, because you're gonna feel a lot better. And then you're suddenly going to feel hyper congested again. Because I was feeling way better on Monday and Tuesday. And then today I felt congested and crappy all over again. So luckily the rest of it's not bad. But that's what you got to look forward to, Opera Soria. You're going to feel so good. And then it's going to come back and punch you in the face. With phlegm and all the grossness. That's how I feel a bit right now. Yeah, that's fair. That is probably yeah, that's not gonna go away. It went away pretty well yesterday, but I don't know, today I definitely woke up feeling more congested. So it's just that's what I think it is. But no, yeah, the image is, yeah, this was one that they made for the background in the shot. So there's no like articulating parts on this one. Because I'm just trying to use it as like I'm going to try to do, I need to make a poster before I submit out to festivals. So I'm trying to make like a very simple poster. And I'm going to try to essentially just use this as like a faded background. Dude, that's what happened to me. Okay, so when it first hit, when it first hit me, it hit me on Friday, and that's why I thought it was allergies. I just could not stop sneezing, and my nose just was like running like crazy. Like most of the time with colds, I'll get a runny nose, like sore throat, runny nose. This was like, it felt like having an allergy attack. Like, I felt like I had just walked into someone's house that had something that I just had a reaction to. Because all I was doing, I was having lunch with Katie, and it just started spewing out of my nose, and I was sneezing like mad. Like, crazy sneezing. So, yeah, you definitely got it from me. Because that is exactly how mine started. And then I just felt like crap for 2 days, and then I was fine for the most part after that. And now it's like the lingering, like, you know, drainage, cough, still snotty. That's pretty much, I'm assuming that's just going to last for like a week now, like most colds. Yeah, that's what's happening to me. I thought it was too, but the weird soreness in the throat is inconsistent. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the cold part of it, so. And I had a mild sore throat that I thought was due to allergies because of the winds on that day too, before the sneezing and the runny nose. So that's how I was pretty sure it was a cold. But yeah, that's pretty much Yep, gotta love it. Gotta love being sickly once more this year. Just good God, this year has been rough. I feel like I've had one healthy month, and the rest of it I've just been sick. Like, god damn it. It's just, well, it might not. It might not be. This just means I'm normal again. I don't know. You could still have your weird COVID immunity, because it's definitely not COVID. But you might still have your weird superpower with COVID. Although I don't know. That may have faded, but you definitely, for at least 2 years, had like the long COVID gave you a superpower against COVID. All right, but yes. So today, working on getting a stupid, simple poster done for the film that is going to the festivals. What else did I say I was working on? Oh yeah, I think I said I was going to catch up on reading. Yeah, I was going to do Pond Boys today, but I'm saving Pond Boys for tomorrow and Friday. Since I have to get things. I should just get this out, so. And it was the best time of my miserable. I know, you poor bastard. Yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love the COVID times. Gotta love the COVID times, but... Alright, what do we got here? Alright, we're gonna roll some ads, and then we might as well just dive right into it. I'm kind of hoping I can get this stupid poster thing out of the way and finish the submission stuff. Finish all the submission stuff on the first sprint. That's the goal. I've been messing around with it all day, but I have to relearn how Affinity works after so much time, and also I had to double check and make sure I had nothing like mildly inappropriate, and like because some of my artwork is like my things are like, you know, old school vintage paintings, but some of them are, you know, have naked people on them, and I had to like, because apparently Affinity, you can't see anything you're working on unless you do the entire display capture, which I thought was interesting. So if I do like a window capture or an app capture, it captures the program, but it doesn't capture what I'm working on. It only captures that if I do the entire display capture. So I had to double check and make sure I had no like, I had no spicy pics for my backgrounds, spicy Victorian era pictures. You know, just in case I minimize something, and you know, don't want to leak anything on the Twitch, any novel Victorian, my Victorian nudes. So anyway, the spiciest kind, I know, right? Yeah, the spiciest kind. These old, I actually don't know if that would be against like Twitch's policy. I just assume it would be. Even though it's, you know, like art museum stuff, but if your computer background is like the Statue of David, does that get flagged by Twitch? Because there be junk. Princess, hey Cryptid, how goes it, Princess? I know Princess has been, I don't, aside from being sick, I can go on a whole tirade about how dealing with getting the princess her meds this week has been an utter fucking nightmare and has really stressed me out and been like a whole thing. But Princess is doing well aside from that. Her meds came today. Everything's good. It just cost me an extra $50 in shipping, but I'm very upset. But Princess is doing well. Sorry, probably they keep changing their policies. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. So I just figured I would be safe and just not, because I do have a few. I have like some Frazetta paintings, which of course have naked people on them, and I have some of the those old like classic, I don't know, like the Baroque era, you know, profile pictures of like dark lighting, which so, like, I was just like, yep, I'm not going to risk it. So I went and changed all my backgrounds to just be, like, cycle through the same backgrounds, just in case I accidentally minimize the window. Because I have no idea if I'm even a tiny stream like here, I assume Twitch would be like, nope, classical paintings are still nudes, and kick you out. So, I don't know. Not bad. Cooking dinner while the storm kicks up. Oh yes, you've got the storm. I know we're in our lull. We're gonna have another rainstorm here in a couple days, but I hope the storm is not terrible, Cryptid. Sorry, do it. Screw the system. It's true. I mean, to be fair, I would just start streaming on like Discord or on like Patreon's doing like a stream thing now, so I might just actually like I've thought about that. Like Patreon's completely changed the way they're doing things, so you can stream on Patreon now, which is cool, and also obviously stream on Discord. Oh no, not the sick kiddo. Twilight, your house is really cursed. Oh well, so Princess has been sick for 7 years. She has a thyroid thing, so it's always kind of like a give or take. It's always kind of like a give or take with getting her meds on time, having to do the blood panels to make sure the blood work is all fine and all that kind of stuff. And everything's been kind of backlogged, and she ran out of meds about a week and a half ago. And I called the vet. Usually I just walk down to the vet and go pick up her prescription. And they were like, yeah, we don't have it anymore. You have to order it. You know, we'll give the prescription to this place and then they'll fulfill it for you and ship it to you. And I was like, oh, uh-oh. Okay, well, she's out. And she's also like 5.5 pounds. I know you can't really tell because you just see her furry head, but she's like really, really skinny because even on her meds with her thyroid, it's hard to have her. We do everything we can to try to keep weight on her, but she's very thin, frail cat. So when she's off her meds, I get really scared because it's really bad for cats to drop under a certain weight amount because they can start having like organ failure. So anyway, so the whole thing became like a clusterfuck of the first half of me like, I need her meds now. She's been off her meds for a week. If she starts losing weight, it could be life-threatening. So anyway, stress aside, her meds came today. She's back on her meds, and I'm trying to feed her double time just to make sure that she keeps the weight. It's doing the dreaded plink plink. Oh no, the plink plink. I feel like the plink plink is like just the teasing before everything turns terrible. Poor old babe. Oh, thank you, Cryptid. I try. I would literally take a bullet for these ancient furry creatures. Yeah, I'm sure she's thrilled. Yeah, she hates. She's fine. The ear med, she's fine, but she is fussy about. She is very happy that she's gotten like 2 things of gravy food per day, so she's happy about the extra food. Oh, it's sleet. Oh no. Okay, sorry. I thought you meant the plink pink, like thick bits of rain. Oh yeah, you're talking about sleet. Yeah, that sucks. That's not good. But if you are reprimanded, I don't know you. I do not encourage this behavior. I am a saint. Thank you, Opera If I get kicked off Twitch, your name will remain pure. Like you did not suggest at all that I just do away with their terms of service. Thank you, Opera The one mod I have is the one that's just like, I said nothing, but also break all the rules. Thank you, Opera The one mod. The frozen rain of Hell's Ninth Circle. Yeah, that's sleet. Sleet is like, and then hail, of course. I really hope you don't get like any terrible hail or sleet, because that's, I mean, that's how like the damage that happens to houses from that kind of weather is just otherworldly. My house is sided. Oh, your house is sided with tin. Okay. Which is super. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. That would make it extra. Man, what happens, Cryptid? I'm assuming you get hail. Hail has got to be the most intense experience in your house if you've got those tin. If you've got like a side of tin, that's got to be crazy. That's how do you just put headphones on? I feel like I'd have to like do something. Maybe it would turn to white noise because it's just so, particularly when it's coming down. Oh no, okay, got you. Shouldn't be hail, thankfully. It's just the wintry mix of hell. Got it. Yes, let me know. Do like an audio recording on your phone just to hear the cacophony of sound coming from like the tin wall when hail happens. Ghostly, welcome in. Crawling in. Oh no. Are we all having a rough week thus far? I hope you're doing okay, Ghostly. I know it's been a little bit of a week for me as well. So I'm definitely still sick, but I'm better. I'm just, the lingering elements of a cold. Opera, sorry, luckily I can unmod myself at any time. Yes, protect yourself. Of all things, protect yourself. Bo. Always protect yourself, Opera Soria. I will let you know. Then I'll find out the thickness of our siding. Exactly, Cryptid, exactly. Hey, we're the advisor. Welcome in. Hello. Oh, are we talking about tornadoes? Yeah, we got one of those. Touchdown a few. Whew, man, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are getting the storms. Are you all getting the storms that we got hit by in California? Because we had some crazy storms the past 2 weeks. So I assume that that's what's coming over. Because I know Moonrunes in Discord talked about how she just got hit with 2. She literally had a Twisters scenario where there was 2 that touched down outside of her work. Well, hopefully you are safe, Ghostly. But you're in. Are you in tornado area? You're not. I know Texas would be, but is where you are in the south that tornado land? Everyone is having a weather a weather damn E2 Ghostly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cryptid Amanda. Yeah. It's just, man, the crazy weather. We don't have tornadoes, but we're getting some gnarly thunderstorms today and throughout the... Yeah. You must all be getting hit with what we got the past 2 weeks. And we have another one coming in a couple of days. I think Thursday and Friday we're supposed to get pelted with rain once more. And it was like flood warning. It was crazy rain. Usually when we get the flood warnings, it's like it doesn't actually happen unless like you're up in Northern California, like by Sacramento. But we definitely, it felt like we were getting a lot here. Like it was a lot more than our purported hurricane season that we had earlier in the year. We had it Monday. You've been without power, Ghostly? Oh no. I assume you have power now though. Oh, I hope you're all doing okay. Oh, Ghostly. I'm having a nor'easter where I am. It's flooding and sleet. Yeah, both. Flooding and sleet. Further north, they're getting a foot. Jeez. The spring is just brutal. This has been a crazy spring weather-wise. Okay, yeah, you're in tornado land. Everywhere is tornado. There is no escape. Yeah. When I lived in Colorado, I was hoping that, I was pretty close to the mountains, but I was under the impression that we were tornado-free until I realized that all of eastern Colorado is literally part of the plains that just gets waylaid by tornadoes constantly. So I got to see a few crazy tornadoes when I was out in Colorado. Everywhere's tornado. Yep. On the same day, oh no, your grandfather had a stroke? In a Bo Burnham voice, how are we feeling tonight? I'm not feeling good. I'm sorry, Ghostly. Jeez. Oh, Ghostly. Oh. I'm sorry. I hope recovery is in hand there. That is stressful and not fun, and some of the worst things that can possibly happen. Ugh. It's why I canceled stream tonight. I'm in a mobile. Oh, no. Oh, so yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, with the storms, it makes sense. Oh, Ghostly. Well, if there's anything that you need, Ghostly, not much that strangers on the internet can do, but well wishes, prayers, and good vibes, man. I hope. To quote Gloria Mayer, I will survive. Yes, you will survive, Ghostly, and be stronger for it, but these are tough times, and these be tough times for all. Ugh. Man, alright, well. I'm glad to see, yeah, we love you, Ghostly. You are a champ, and a trooper, and a titan, and and the most writery of writers of all. So you are adored here. All right, what do we got here? All right, I'm just gonna check that before we start our sprint. So I will not be writing today. I will be catching up on reading and obviously working on this nonsensical poster I have to do for submitting the film to the film festivals. But we'll be doing the sprints still, so that'll be the plan for today. On the bright side, Ghostly had fallen down, a fun rabbit hole that has been some lovely escapism. That's what it's there for, Ghostly. That's if you are able during trying times to go down a rabbit hole, anything. Doesn't have to be writing, but any sort of thing that brings you joy. Just fully embrace it and do it. Particularly in times like that. Ooh, Ghostly is dipping her toes in dystopian. Okay, all right, very cool. Very cool. You into like dystopian, like future dystopian, like apocalyptic dystopian? Wildlight, if you've ever driven behind the salt truck or sand trunk and heard it, hey, oh yes, yeah, I know that. Oh yes. I mean, you get that from just driving behind trucks on the highway out in, Wyoming. They're just kicking up all kinds of like rocks and dirt in your windshield. It currently sounds like that, but on every wall in my house. That's insane, Cryptid. That would make me I think that would make me crazy. I don't know if I could handle that. Which feels weird because Ghostly has never enjoyed any kind of dystopian. Interesting. Okay. I mean, it's spread your wings, Ghostly. Like vibe, Well, Worthy Advisor, be sure to stay safe too if you are dealing with thunderstorms. Hopefully your power stays on and like nothing too crazy happens out there. But I do know that particularly in a small if you're in like if you're kind of like remote sometimes, and those thunderstorms can be devastating. So definitely stay safe. Oh, great. Fantastic. Oh, good. You have a generator? That's even better. I mean, sometimes dystopian can be fun. It depends what kind of dystopian. I'm not mad about it, though. It's handy. I will always know weather before leaving. That is true. That you're not right. You're not wrong. That is smart. You never just walk outside and get surprised by the weather. Okay, think New York, but it was always The Purge, but with a little more flavor. Interesting. Okay, I like it. Ghostly, I have a question for you. Have you ever seen a movie called Escape from New York? All the criminals wear mime clown. Okay, cool. We're leaning into the mime clown makeup for flavor. Okay, it's literally a New York filled with juggalos. I'm there for it. Okay. If you get a chance, if you can find it on the interwebs, I recommend maybe checking it out. So, Escape from New York is kind of the perennial New York dystopian story. It was made by one of my favorite films. Well, actually, since you're always talking about slashers, made by John Carpenter, the guy who made the original Halloween movie. But it's an action film with Kurt Russell, dystopian future. But essentially the movie is like New York Island, like the actual island part of New York, like where Manhattan and all that would be, is a prison. It's just turned into a prison. And so like essentially it's not like there's not guarded. So it's just like, it's kind of like Australia. They're just left to run awry and create their own like weird political system or whatever it is, but in just a prison island that is New York. And essentially the inciting incident of the story is that the president's plane gets shot down over New York. And they send in Snake Plissken, who is Kurt Russell's character, to essentially go, who he is also a prisoner, But like a hyper security, like this is one of the most badass persons alive, so he's kept in solitary confinement separately. They bring him to go like save the president and pull the president out of this. But what makes me why I think you might enjoy it, Ghostly, is one, good sense of humor, even though it's dark, but also a lot of the weirdos and the prisoners out there are kind of themed after the Lost Boys, so a lot of them do have kind of cartoonish. They're very pitched, so they have like crazy face makeup on. They're all like, you know, one of them is always dresses and acts like Peter Pan. It's anyway. If you're writing dystopian and you're looking for a little bit of flavor or a little bit of maybe inspiration or just to see it, I would highly recommend that movie. It's a fun action movie. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I think you would enjoy it. And if you're a video game nerd, Snake from the Metal Gear Solid games is based off Snake Plissken from that movie. Because the eye patch and all that, it's all from the metal. Like, you'll kind of notice a lot of things. You'll probably see a lot of things have referenced that movie because it's a pretty famous movie. Let's see here. All right. But yeah, I'm very glad that you're writing, like, yeah, explore dystopian. It's always good to explore things outside, and your own voice is going to come through, so it'll have the same kind of fun, exciting things that you tend to write. It'll just be filtered through a lens that's different, which is always exciting to see. Sometimes that magic can come out of that. You also check out Coldest Girl in Town. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Holly Black Outside of Her Face series. Okay, it's a vamp dystopian and you're trapped in Springfield, Mass. Oh boy. Okay, all right. It's YA, so it's not too scary. Springfield is fun. Springfield is fun. It's where they make guns and has a long, interesting mob history. Interesting. Okay. Coldest Girl in Town. Let me Google that and save that. I've probably said it before, but one of my favorite things about being able to like stream and have all of you hanging out with me is I never have a shortage of books. It's an utterly delightful thing. I have stacks of books because of many of the folks here, and it always makes me very happy. Coldest Girl in Cold Town. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out. All right. Hey, the kids are asleep. Books, check them out. Yeah, exactly. Kids are asleep is one of it. You're one of them. You, Oizel, now Cryptid. All of you have just opened my horizons to the books that I like. As if I needed more books to read. And I actually, the thing that I like too is I get a lot of like what's really popular, because I tend to like linger around like old, boring old books, you know, like Middle West or something, or, you know, go read like old sci-fi. So I get a lot of good new books thanks to all of you, which I would never have found because there's so many. Kids are asleep. Yeah, I try to keep up with the new hotness. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, you got me on that new mech series that I'm reading, Iron Widow, which I'm thoroughly enjoying right now. It fits perfectly for reading with me trying to write my mech movie trilogy. So it's definitely been a nice thing to kind of read in tandem with developing that. We always need more books to read. Yeah, I will never have a shortage, and I'm thankful for that. That I know that if for whatever reason, if I can't make, I have to retire or not make movies or whatever it might be in the future, I'll always have stacks of books to read. I feel like, yes, there are old books that are less known and maybe worth recommending, but anything old and popular doesn't need me to simp for it. Yeah, exactly. I think, although, yeah, there's... I guess I'm glad that, like, some of the older things that I've kind of always been beating the drum for are kind of coming back around again. And there's definitely some good, like, discoveries that have come out. Like Roadside Picnic is definitely well lauded, I think, culturally, but you just don't hear much about it. Or I don't feel like you heard a lot about it outside of, like, the 60s until recently, and I assume that's because of the new translation from 2012 that kind of lauded that. Because that's my all-time favorite science fiction book. So, I'm glad to see that kind of have a resurgence. But yes, the rest of the classics don't need anybody. They don't need anybody. anybody. Yeah, they've got plenty of hype. I also thought it would be fun to subvert the freedom fighters overthrow the tyrannical government trope. Okay, to society is in flames, and people who seek any form of order are forced underground. Interesting. Okay, so like that's an interesting thing, Ghostly. I like that. You could explore some interesting ideas there. So like it's complete like societal collapse. You could probably mine a lot of really really good. Sorry, I'll get to that. The kids are asleep. You got me hyped on that. But there's a thing that you could do, Ghostly, that is one of my favorite periods of like history, even though there's not a lot of like writing on it, is because that's like that. I mean, the forced underground is kind of an interesting take on it. But one of the most fascinating periods of history is right after the Roman Empire fell and like what was going on in Europe at the time before the Dark Ages and kind of the medieval period arose. Just the utter chaos and seeing what happens when like infrastructure and all that completely falls apart. It's really fascinating stuff. So I really like that angle, Ghostly. That's a really good angle to like, and I don't feel like it's a very well explored angle, particularly in that kind of dystopian fiction. It's always like immediately after the collapse, or like it kind of ignores it, unless you're reading like Cormac McCarthy's The Road or something like that, which I think does a good job of doing that. But yeah, I'm big fan of it. Kids are Holly Black isn't old to me. I mean, like pre-80s mostly. Gotcha. Yeah. No, Ghostly, I did not stream yesterday. Today is the first stream. I had a meeting I had to go to, because there's a possibility I might finally, after 4 years, start working internationally again. So there's a possibility I might end up going to like Germany or France for a job. So I needed to go to a meeting for that, and hopefully I get it. Because I miss, one, that's how I get paid. That's how I get paid the big bucks, and two, I miss it because from 2016 to 2019 I was traveling all the time, and I loved it. Let's see. I'm the old man in the corner telling kids to read Typee and The Three Musketeers. I mean, everybody should read The Three Musketeers, and pretty much, and also The Count of Monte Cristo. Like anything in that wheelhouse, people should read. Yeah, yes. I had another merch rec for you. The Genesis of Misery by Neon. Okay, yes, that was the thing I wanted. So there's a bookstore when I go visit family in Arizona, and they always have book recs by the people who work at the bookstore. It's a place that like I used to go as a young kid. That my mom was my mom would always just take me there and drink wine and let me just go amok and read books and stuff. That's parenting back then. But like that bookstore I still go to. It's still around, and they always they do a big thing where the people that work there. It's a local bookstore. Like the younger high school, college kids all recommend books for people, and that was one of the books. I have it. So anyway, I'm glad you bring that up. So this was a blind buy, so I'm very glad you brought that up. The kids are asleep, because now I feel like perfect. more reason to read it, because that's been on my quote unquote blind buy stack, because I just go in there and see anything that sparks my interest that they recommend. That was before I streamed. That was generally how I read new books. was my yearly trip back home to visit family and blind buying from that bookstore. So, let's see here. I got last night on stream I was like, so who else has read Orlando Furioso? That's awesome. But if you check out Musketeers, be sure you find a good translation, because many are trash, and destroy Dumas' voice. What's your preferred translation on that, Cryptid? Because I used to argue about that with Dostoevsky, because the later translations of Dostoevsky made some of his least popular works like some of his best, wildly different in terms of the translation. Like Brothers Karamazov and Crime and Punishment, those books were always good, but Demon, or is it Demons or Devils? Is it Devils? Yeah, but the early translation of Devils, and then the retranslation that came out in 2006, 2005, is wildly different. It makes like the prose in that book, it makes it just literally the prose alone makes it one of Dostoevsky's best works. It's all just translation. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. So, but I am curious what let's see. I have a 50s edition. I highly recommend it. Family is translated. I only paid $2.99. What? Because that is like a big. When you're reading books like that, translation is a really, really big thing. I hear the princess. The princess is howling. What's going on, princess? You need to find a translator who respects both the language and the rhythm. A lot of the modern Musketeer editions destroy his run-ons and fucks up 90% of his punchlines. Really? Really? And that's just like modern editions? That's shocking. Okay. They're trying to like overly correct. They need to get the people who do Proust to do the translations, because the new translations of Proust they kept like, I mean, he was famous for 3-page long sentences, but they that was like one of the big things, is preserving the grammatically incorrect elements of his sentences. Some of them obviously grammatically correct and mind-blowing, but if you download the sample and the intro doesn't feel like the Jackass music should be playing, it's incorrect. Got it. Okay. They make Dumas dry, which shouldn't be possible in the Drotica romances. That's really interesting. Are they trying to do it for? Is that like an issue particularly with the localization then, Cryptid? That sounds like that's more like it's just a different approach to how you localize a translation at that point. So maybe they're trying to make it more like true in terms of pure fidelity, but it's lacking kind of the translation of the particular intent of the language to like an English, a similar English intent. Because that's the problem I've noticed with a few things with is that they start becoming like hyper accurate and they don't really grab the intent behind it. I've seen it in every modern really every modern edition. Oh, that's disturbing, because that's the more recent modern translations of Dostoevsky, Proust, and Roadside Picnic have been far superior to the original translations. So that's shocking to me that they're like, for someone particularly as famous as Dumas, like having it flip like that. Because yeah, I remember reading Swan's Way for school in the old translation, then rereading the new translation when I graduated, because it had just come out, and the new translation was leagues better. Ooh, Ghostly. The whole thing starts when the main character, a tuxedo mime dude, crawls into an apartment where this chick is tied to a chair. As it unfolds, she is his best friend. She is his best friend, and he tied her up so that he could murk her murk her boyfriend, because her boyfriend's an absolute abusive asshole. They are very casual about the whole thing, as though this is a normal occurrence. I really want to hit on that dry, dark, absurdist humor. Awesome, Ghostly. That is there's a little bit of a punk rock vibe to that I appreciate a lot, Ghostly. There's a really fun movie. I don't know if it might be too sexual. Actually, it probably is too sexual for you, Ghostly, but there's a really great Greg Araki movie called The Doom Generation that has a very absurd, dry, but still punkish sense of humor. That like everybody kind of has that like that gives zero fucks about like things as intense as like murder or things like that. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's very it's good vibe. You know what actually might I wonder if you would enjoy a movie like Simple Men. Hal Hartley kind of has that kind of vibe. Very, it's maybe not quite as absurdist, but it is very dry. Um, or you know what else? Actually, you know what else is a really good example of that? Cryptid would probably know is Heather's. Heather's kind of has um, that dark, absurdist but very scathing type of sense of humor. So that might also that's kind of it's definitely in that wheelhouse for sure. Ghostly. I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of leaning that way. I'm a big fan of that. Also, you don't get the kids edition. It does well. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, yeah. I don't get the kids edition of any book. All right, you got to finish cooking dinner, and then you'll be back. Perfect. Yes, lurk away. Lurk, lurk, lurk. Go eat a delicious dinner. We actually probably should start a sprint. I've been babbling for too long. She just complains about how she liked this one. He had power and money and big arms. Ghostly. And the big arms. Much like a child not getting what she wants, he later bribes her with ice cream. Ah, there you go. That's I love it, Ghostly. I love that. I can't wait. If you manage, if it works and you can bring it to a conclusion, I'd love to read it. Yes, Cryptid. I think all of us are waiting in anticipation for Witch Punks. Witch Punks, nudges and Witch Punks. Exactly. That's I think all of us are excited to read that. Okay. All right. I have talked far too long. We should at least try to get some things done today before the inevitable. Yeah, we'll see how many sprints we get through. We'll probably get through at least 2. We'll aim for 3. I have a meeting with some writers around 7, so I'll have to be done in probably about 6:30. So let's try to get some work done. We will see you all on the other side. Happy writing. Ghostly, I hope your deep dive into dystopian is an absolute delight. Cryptid, I hope the cooking goes well, and for everybody out there who's working, I hope the working goes well, and the words are kind. All right. Happy writing, everybody. And away we go. there we go. That is the end of that sprint. Just as I figured out how the hell to use this program. Alright, start the down timer. Oh. No. There we go. There we go! Ba-ba-ba. Hopefully that was a productive sprint. Hey, number 13th, what's up? How goes the writing and or the artwork? How goes it? Welcome, welcome. We got ads rolling in for everybody's about to be hit by ads. What if you make the image black and white? That's what I'm gonna do. Right, what I was trying to do is remember how to make a mask and then pull, because I want to get rid of, like, obviously the cornered edges, and I'm going to feather it. And then I'm either going to do that infrared look, or I'm going to do the black and white. But we will have to look black and white, because most of the movie is in black and white. So yeah, it's going to have to be black and white, for the most part. Or at least desaturated color, and maybe keep some of the colors, but mostly black and white. You know, get all fancy with it. But yeah, I didn't realize I never told that story, Ghostly, that I had indeed, I made a movie and I drug a bunch of LA people, actors, and it's funny, I had, one of the actors I hired was out of Atlanta, a really good actor too, his name was Chris, and I flew them all out up to Wyoming, up in the mountains in the middle of the winter. Made a movie, which is insane. I'm surprised I didn't get anybody killed doing that, but it was an adventure. But yeah, I flew them up, and I remember one of the most insane things about that was, out of Denver, there's like production houses for like production gear, film gear, you know, things like that, like rigging gear and all that. And I remember calling them being like, well, you're 5 hours away from where I'm shooting, because I'm shooting up on the Continental Divide, up in the mountains between Wyoming and Colorado. And I was like, you know, I can get a car or a truck and we can load in the gear. And they were like perplexed by this. They're like, wait a minute, but aren't you like, don't you have, like, what union's operating? And I'm like, well, it's not an IATSE shoot. It's SAG shoot, but it's not IATSE. So there's no union crew on it. The crew's like us. And they were like, oh, well, we've never, and I think when I got the costs, because they needed their guys to load the gear in and load the gear out, I think when I got the costs, it was something like, on top of the rental, for like a 2-ton grip package, it was something like, God, I think it was like $3,000 for like the 2 weeks I needed it up there. And this is how insane like making movies is, particularly in certain areas, because they had never they only deal with commercial productions. They've never done like indie shoots, really, out in Colorado. Like New Mexico, they have other places, but not in Colorado. And so I went to my local, like, we have a place here called Wood Nickel. And they're real cheap, you know. You can probably get a 2-ton grip package for 3 weeks for like $700. And so I went in, you know, had insurance, had production insurance, and like got a 3-ton grip package, paid to have my buddy drive it out to Wyoming from LA, and it was cheaper than getting it out of Denver, Colorado. which is insane. I also felt really bad because my guy had to drive a 3-ton grip. It was a buddy of mine named Jack. He had to drive a 3-ton grip truck up I-80 through Wyoming in the winter because we shot it in January, and you know it's like those roads get icy up there. So he's like, and then of course when you get to the town we're filming in, there's like no paved roads. It's all just snow, ice, and dirt roads when you actually get there. So we got stuck a number of times having to like get some of these trailers and these gear packages out. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's one of the I have many stories of that production and that shoot, but that's the one of the logistics ones. I like the inverted image, but it reminded me a little too much. Yeah, that's the ghost hunting thing. Yeah, it looks like the infrared thing is cool, but it can be too much. But that might just be me and my youngin' mind now. Now that is the problem. It's a very thing. I'm trying to just make this a faint, almost metallic looking black and white image where I don't want it much of the detail. I just want kind of the outline of it. I just need something on the poster. Originally, I just wanted to do a black poster with the title on it, but I figured I should probably do more. Cripes, wow. I want to play a game called Control. Oh, I've heard really good things about Control. I've heard very, very good things about Control number 13th, so not a bad game to play. Yeah, I think I watched a little bit of The Kids Are Asleep playing that. Because I'm a big fan of the Alan Wake games, and I believe Control is in that same universe and done by that same studio. Friends, I can barely lift my bowl to eat on the couch like the gremlin I am. I think this weighs more than my cat. Oh my, how much food did you make? I've officially made a mom and pop Mexican restaurant burrito. Oh my god, that sounds so good. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh man, a burrito sounds really good right now. I haven't eaten much today. I'm gonna try to cram some food before I go meet with the other writers, but I really want a burrito now. You're making me want a burrito, Cryptid. I have some black beans in the fridge, actually. I could probably make a burrito. I'd have to make some rice, though. Maybe I could do, like, an egg. Just quickly cook up an egg. Mix it with... I don't have any salsa, though. I'm out of salsa. I'm out of Cholula, so I don't have any spice. I have peppers in the black beans. I have chopped up peppers in the black beans, but that's not enough spice. It's so good. Yeah, The Kids Are Asleep. It looks very good. Never played Alan Wake. The original Alan Wake is kind of all wonky a little bit, but I highly recommend it if you can deal with kind of the weird way that game plays. Alan Wake 2 is incredible. So I'm probably going to go back and play Control after I finish playing Alan Wake 2. But Alan Wake 2 is like the Twin Peaks of video games. Big fan of it. Ooh, you make Cuban black beans? Okay. I might have to pick your brain. The Kids Are Asleep. How you make Cuban black beans, a particular version anyway. I mean, I have to overcook the beans because if I don't, they like the fiber in it hurts me. So I have to like really slow cook the beans. So I think usually they recommend like 2 hours, but I usually cook them for like 3.5. As long as they don't start burning, you have to make sure that they don't like burn on the bottom. And then I use a lot of like, I actually cook them in butter and then cut up a bunch of like cilantro, peppers, things like that, put it in there. So I'm very curious because I love Cuban black beans. Anytime I go to like down to San Diego, there's a Cuban restaurant I go to that has really good black beans that I get. Also, while I feel a storm brewing, I may be picking your brain on screen. Ooh, Ghostly, exciting. A Ghostly screenplay could be on the way. It's so heavy. How do I lift? I am a weak noodle. Oh no. Just how do you like? You just need like a cartoonishly large bowl that then you can just like stick your fork in and eat it and just let it sit on the floor. Basically, first I fry up sofrito, okay, which is onions, green peppers, and garlic in olive oil. Okay, so you do that first, okay. All right, that makes sense. And fry them up, and then I add okay, you do canned beans plus oregano, white wine vinegar, salt, a little sugar. Okay. All right, so okay, white wine vinegar, okay, and oregano. All right, I definitely do. I have done bay leaf. Interesting, a little sugar. Okay, because I usually do a little bit of salt, and then I cook them. I cook them from scratch though, so now you just mix them together. Okay, so you probably cook the beans separately. So I'd probably cook the beans separately and then fry up the onions, peppers, and garlic. Interesting. White vinegar and salt. Okay. Oh, you cook it all together? Okay, so maybe I cook it all together and slow cook the beans. Yeah, because I can't do canned beans. That's the problem. Is I have to. I make my beans. I have to make my beans from scratch, because the canned beans, for whatever reason, every time I eat canned beans, they're just not. It feels like they haven't been cooked enough. They're not like tender enough, and for whatever reason, like every time I eat beans, they like those like canned beans. It's fire. It's the fiber. It hurts me. It just hurts me. But when I slow cook them myself, it seems to not have that effect on me. So for whatever reason, yeah. All right, I'm stealing that. Thank you so much. The kids are asleep. It might be. I always consult recipe because my brain is hollow. I mean, that's fair. I just cook from repetition at this point, so I need new things. That sounds amazing. Yeah. Okay. I would never have done. Okay, so white wine vinegar, oregano, salt. Cool. The rest of that is like almost about how I cook them, except for I add cilantro. But I add like cilantro to everything. White wine vinegar. I would not have guessed white wine vinegar. And sugar. Interesting. All right, everybody. Let us get back to our sprints. Get the words done. Try to be a little bit productive on this Wednesday of ours. Or future. I know some people are in the future. All right. Happy writing, everybody. Let's get to work. We'll see you on the other side. And away we go. I really don't think this Clown Dystopia is meant to be a book. Ooh. I like it. I like it, Ghostly. I like it. All right. Happy writing, everybody. Always redeemed hydrate. Be sure to take drinks, everybody. Stay hydrated. Oh, jeez. Oh, that snuck up on me. I got distracted. Got distracted chatting. All right. Oh. Stretch. All right, everybody. I think, sadly, that might wind up being the last sprint of the day because I will have to go make dinner before I go to my writers' meeting. But we will have full 4 sprints Thursday and Friday. So it will be a full day. The downside of moving things to Wednesday is I always end up having to... I usually have a thing in the evenings. Kids are asleep, of course. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you got some work done. And if you are streaming later this evening, the kids are asleep. I hope it's a good stream. And for any of you out there who don't already, absolutely go check out the Kids Are Asleep streams. They're fun little game streams, and I find them to be a delight. You'll learn all about the majesties of the nose juice bucket, most sacred of all buckets. Oh God, no, you're fine, Ghostly. You're fine. It's something about, like, it's kind of like, you know how we always say that you have a very strong voice, Ghostly. I don't know if your voice is apparent to you or not. I don't know if it is apparent to you, but mine's not so much to me. I try to be more aware of how it comes off, but when people read my writing, particularly like writer friends of mine, they're just like, "That's a Max script." It's that's one of those things. Is like, all you have to do is read a little bit, Ghostly, and I think you're gonna be able to. And you nailed it. You got it right on the head. Yeah. You got it right on the head. You're incapable of writing outside of your voice. And I think that's a strength, because clearly I do it too. Because even when I try to write something different, it's always just like, and there's the existential dread. I could be writing a kid's story, and someone's going to be like, yeah, you realize you just put in like this deep sense of the world foundation beneath your feet fracturing and uncertainty and dread. And I'm like, oh shit, I guess I did do that. That's it's just how I am. It's okay. Embrace it. Yeah, you're very good with the words, Ghostly. You are absolutely great with the words. And the thoughts behind them. I know you say there's no thoughts, but there's thought that goes into it. You're clever. You do things with intent. I have seen you do this, Ghostly. I've read your work. It is, you need to find your voice and dig your claws in with both hands. Yeah. So that's for some people, that's the hardest thing to do. And for some people, that's the easiest thing to do. I think you are one of those people, Ghostly. And I think that I tend to lean that way, where I think I tend to have a pretty strong voice in my writing, and at least in the topics I'm concerned with. And then, you work on refining it and structuring it and making it better and crafting it better. But I think, yeah, you read me very well, Ghostly. You read me very well. That is clearly... there is a Joseph Campbell quote that when people ask me, what do I try to do with the things that I write? And if I remember... Actually, let me see if I can look it up. I think I have it written down, actually. Yeah, terror and joy are the same thing. It's just a question of accent. And that is probably, if you could distill everything, and by joy, I think what he means is like the Kantian thought of the sublime, the otherworldly joy, some would call it a religious experience type of joy. And I think that's probably like finding the line between a sort of almost like Buddhistic enlightenment and pure dread in the void from like a Lovecraftian sense has always been something I'm compelled with. So I think, yeah, you've nailed it pretty much. Yep. It's also why I don't think any of my endings are sad, even though some people are like, some of the endings are downers. I don't think from my point of view, the way I write it is I don't see them as sad. Oh, thank you, Cryptid. I do love it. It's one of my favorite Joseph Campbell quote. I'm not a big Joseph Campbell person anymore, but that quote has stuck with me for a long time. I taught a voice class for Ghostly, I just write. You write a lot of interesting things. They're different. I didn't mean to say that you're one. No, 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 no. I understand what you're saying, Ghostly. It's fine. I just write the same three characters. That's not true, but kind of. But we all do it. But no, that's not totally true. I know what you're thinking there, Ghostly, but it's not true. Um, I taught a voice class for Writer's Digest. It's absolutely tough to nail down. I think some people come to it easier than others, but I think refining it and making it really sing and work is a really hard thing to do. I agree with that. The Kids Are Asleep is really difficult to do. I think it's to make your voice. You can have a strong voice and also have a hard time communicating or being emotionally or effective in what you're trying to convey emotionally, and I think that that's where you have to like lean on like structure and craft to be able to try to then like have your voice be the most impactful it can be. Because sometimes you can have a strong voice, but it can be completely alienating, and people are just not going to connect with it. And that's the other side of that spectrum. You can have the strongest voice in the world, and people are just like, I don't know what this is. So it's bridging the two sometimes. Let's see here. I really like your subversion of expectation. I think it works well with horror because of how you pull the viewer out of comfort into the unknown. I mean, that's the whole point. A lot of people, if you're trying to do the fear of the unknown, relying on the standard structural ideas and tropes behind most horror films is counterproductive. It's literally it's not what you should be doing. You should be leaning. The whole point is, which is funny because horror fans actually tend to be some of the most like reactionary fans when it comes to going against tropes. They tend to be they do tend to like they need certain things to happen in movies. And maybe that's not the fans, maybe that's just how it's curated. But I do find that sometimes horror fans can be very, very, very opposed to new things, which I find funny because that's the whole point of it sometimes is like the unknown, the terror before you. But thank you, Ghostly. I'm glad that you enjoy that. It's important to me, and it's something I do work very hard at. The endings are sad because my little silly boy is no more. I know what you wouldn't do for Virgil. I understand. I know. You would, the things you would sacrifice for Virgil, I have no doubt. But that's important. That's important. It's important to have that. You do need some level of tragedy, but I don't know. I will never let you lift this down, Twilight. I think you know what's funny is I feel like the way he dies in that script, as all the problems in the second half of that script that need to be addressed, the way that Virgil dies I find to be the most, I feel like for me it was almost a self-insert, because I feel like that's how I would die. Is in a point of panic for trying to save someone you care about, doing the dumbest possible thing you can do and getting yourself killed. I feel like that's absolutely how I would go. I feel like by doing the dumbest thing out of the best intention. The best intention. So. And it works. I don't know. I feel like it narratively works. But maybe, we'll see. When I revisit that script and rewrite it, maybe I will change. Maybe Virgil will make it through. We'll see, Ghostly. Cryptid, you gotta kill your darlings. Oh, yeah. And best, in film terms, best kill your darlings when they're in the script. Because it hurts to kill your darlings after you've shot them. After you've filmed it, and you've lived it, and it's like, and the performances are great, and everything's cutting together and works so well, and then you realize you have to cut it, it's so much easier to just do that out of the script. It like hurts. It literally hurts. It's cutting your darlings in the post side when you're editing it, when it's visually there, it hurts. It makes me sad. If it helps, the kids make it out of witch punks. There you go. Oh no, Ghostly, don't say that to me, Cryptid. Don't make me face the truth. Don't give me that hope. Oh, we'll see, Ghostly. I'm not gonna say one way or the other, but I will say that it's not set in stone. It's just mostly set in stone. I add more darlings. Whoa, that's bold. That is bold. The Kids Are Asleep. I guess if you add more darlings, They don't make it out intact, but they live. Yeah, that's the way you live. You always have to make it out, but never whole. It's always a part of you that gets left behind. Increase your darlings. Now, if you increase your darlings enough, then you are just doing... You're just making... I mean, in theory, isn't the whole story, like every scene, every bit, supposed to be your darlings? That's like the whole point. It's just you have to kill some of your favorite darlings sometimes. Or add more. So, alright. Oh, wait, let me see if I can, show you one of the ones with the articulating eyes. If all else fails while you have gotten the desired effect for one person. Thank you, Ghostly. That's all that matters. If it works for one person, it works. The advice is sound, but I think it gets misused a lot. It works. It's true in editing. In, like, the film world. It 100% is true. That to kill your darlings and you feel it, too. But I do agree that it's not always the case, or it's an interesting way of looking at it. But it hurts. Sometimes you have a scene that's really effective, that's emotionally compelling, and it throws the flow of the film completely out of whack. And it hurts. You know, actually, a really good example of this, if anyone's ever seen The Exorcist, if you watch The Exorcist and watch the 2003 Exorcist, where they added a couple scenes, it's a really good example of why killing your darlings in cinema can be really impactful, because in the original The Exorcist, that's Aliens. Reagan never leaves the room. It's all about, it's in the room. There's a sort of claustrophobic containment that is, it's in the room. You're always having to go into the room, and it builds that sort of tension and that horror every time you have to go into the room to confront the demon. But if you watch the 2003 re-release, they added what they call the spider walk scene, which is a scene where Reagan comes down on her back, like, and she's like walking backwards like this, and she like pukes up blood, and it's like it's a horrifying scene. The way it's shot, the way it's done, the sound design is terrifying, and if you watch it, it ruins everything by having her come out of the room. And that's because the scene on its own is deeply disturbing and one of the best things about it. But it also it ruins the flow. It ruins the flow and the sort of language of the movie. And it's in the movie, it ruins the movie. And that's like, for me, when I think about killing your darlings, that's what I think of. Is it's out of place in the whole. Even if the scene itself is really impactful and works well. You have succeeded in carving out a tiny piece of my heart, and Stop It is stomping on it. Oh no. Oh, you are doing everything you can to make me feel bad, Ghostly. The thing that all writers stomp for. That is true. I do love it. Ooh, what's this link? Ooh, The Cult, a short story. Okay, I will check this out. A story about killing darlings. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I've had to cut some really sweet moments out of Witch Punks. They didn't move character plot enough to stay. Alas, that happens. I save all those moments into a me service document. Exactly, exactly. All right, I'll be right back, and then we'll end stream. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so the production design on my movie. So all these little monsters are made by my roommate, or my old roommate, and one of my best friends, who has like an online shop called Killer Tentacle Octopus. She does like octopus jewelry. And then all the other was done by the production designer, my ex. And this was one that she made. And I don't have the rod connected anymore. But we'll see if I can move it behind. So anyway, this is the log. All right, let's see if I can actually, let's bring this up. Main camera. There we go. Okay. So, this has 2 eyes. See if I can articulate it. Whoop. There we go. So, essentially this sat in the river. And then we had a rod here, and the rods move the eyes. So the 2 eyes would move in simul. They were connected on a rod that's not connected anymore. So it would just... And there's another big one, too, that has an eye flap. So that one would move, and that. So they both would move together, essentially. Because they're all supposed to look at the main character. Because they're all sitting in a river. Yep. Boop. There you go. Like that. And then they, yeah, and so then these bits are all sculpted and put on the actual piece of wood. So these are all, and then this is latex flesh. So you can see it on the backside. There's like latex flesh and where the little rods sit and connect there. Yep. And that's how that one was done. And then there's a bigger one with a full-on, like, a full-on... And it was hand puppeted because we were in Wyoming, and it was frozen. The river was frozen, and there was little pockets where the ice was broken, and they would have to put it down there, put heated gloves on to be able to operate under the water because it's ice. You know, it's January up in the mountains. It's freezing water. So let's see here. Then it works underwater without needing motor. Whoa, that's so. I love practical. That's brilliant. Yeah. Well, don't. A lot of advice. Don't make a 2.5-hour 1970s horror movie with practical effects for $35,000. You are not gonna make it work. You will eventually have to cut your magnum opus into a 20-minute horror film because it's expensive. But I also have very, very talented friends and collaborators and partners, so they made it work. And it is much to their genius that I owe much of it. Here, I'll be right back. All right. This is all because I love you all. I hope you know that. Also, these things haven't been out of storage in a while. So, let's see if I can get this to work. Do we have a rod here? Yeah, so, okay, here we go. So, this is the bigger rod. All right, so see this log? You got some things here. Brap. So it's like a little eye thing here. Boop. And then if that comes out, there's a rod back here that can move the eye. Can articulate the eye. Yep. Boop. So we can have it blink open. And this one was called Blinky, and the rod. And this one was done by Killer Tentacle Octopus. My dear friend. My best friend. But yes. So, yeah. It was, and then there was a bit where this one gets like shot and bleeds everywhere. So there was like you can actually see all the blood tubes and everything still sticking out of it. Because we had blood like soak over the eye. So essentially it drips underneath the eyelash and stuff. So that's where I'm like pulling all these out of storage for the same time. And yep. That is that one. Yeah. There's some goodies, some weird old goodies and stuff, fleshy things. Anyway, isn't your favorite the actual weird baby, like the weird latex monster baby? I thought that that was your favorite Operosoria, but maybe it's not. That's nightmare fuel. That's so cool. Well, I'm glad. There is an actual... I think I only have the head. Maybe the body is still there, but... Oh, shit. I gotta be careful, though. Yeah, I have a full-sized freaky latex baby that's had, like, modifications done on it. It was very... That baby. You know, all the weird monster stuff, all the weird monsters. Oh, heck, stream time, gotta run. Have a great stream. Kids are asleep. Take care. That was, that was, you know, people could deal with, like, the eyes and wood logs and all that kind of stuff and the blood and the weird thing, but the baby was the thing that people were like, what the fuck is that thing? Because we had to, like, it was a full latex baby. I bought it pre-cast. I managed to find people on eBay that, like, cast these, like, latex infants. I don't know why they, I think they, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what it is for, but anyway, it was a miscast, and then we kind of turned it into, like, a monster thing, and we, like, put, like, a tongue in it so it, like, could open its mouth and, like, stick out its tongue and be all like, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, but that was the thing that freaked everybody out. Oh yeah, and that's the freaky thing, is it, that's so cool. Nightmare fuel. I hate that thing. Oh, that's right, Harper, sorry. It is Nightmare fuel. I want to watch this movie. Well, maybe I'll stream it on the Discord at some point. That's very... Actually, Cryptid, I do know the answer. I need to go, and I don't want to get into it, but I do know that there's, like, people that, like, make fake babies to take care of, and it's a whole weird subculture, and it's really bizarre. But yes, it's, like, a weird... I don't know, it's a weird thing. Really weird and really upsetting, but yes. Yep. It's a whole... Yeah, if you want to Google and go down a really weird thing, look at people who take care of fake babies as if they were real. It's a weird thing, but they do exist. People are strange when you're a stranger. That's true. That's very upsetting. It's just... Yes, but the weird thing about the baby is that because it's pure latex. It's pure latex. Oh, I did not show the mask. I guess I can show the mask. I mean, I have a... Well, most of the masks are actually still up in Wyoming. But I do have the one in here. But the weird thing about full latex casts is they sweat. They actually just seep latex till, like, they eventually, like, fall apart. So this weird latex baby just stains things with, like, latex. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. Anyway, I'm sure people don't need more of that, but it's let's see how much of this I can actually get away with showing. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, all the way... If people did not know that you were, like, doing films or a filmmaker, the things that they would pull out of your closet would probably indict you. Like, weird monster babies, monster logs, just all kinds of weird stuff. I know, I gotta go put that back in the closet. Anyway. Let's see here. I remember watching you pull it out of the box. I do remember, yeah. Latex baby goo! Yeah, oh, it's wait. Throws up. It's cursed. Excellent. Well, like, when did the curse start? Exactly, when did the weird sweating? And how long have you had your baby? I will pet the shmoo for you, don't worry. He gets plenty of love. And you get to see him most weekends anyway, so. How long have you had your baby? When did I guess it would have been middle of 2018? That's when we were doing most of the prep, because we filmed December and January of 2018-19, and then we filmed in LA for another week and a half. So Yeah. So anyway, when did the curse start? When it just started sweating and doing all that, it started very quickly, Cryptid. Very quickly. My entire apartment is cursed with movie stuff. Pet the Shmoo, Pet the Shmoo. Also, is that Tort? Yeah, that's Tort. That's Imperator Tort, and he's perpetually waving. That's Tort. Anyway. Oh wait, I'll do one more thing before I end stream. This one's not as bad as the baby, I promise. Ugh. There you go. Yeah, this is one of the masks. So essentially, the masks I had the cultists in the mountains wear were I tried to base a lot of them off of like the Mudmen of New Guinea. So these kind of like mud mask kind of things. So it just kind of made sense to have it. And then we gave them like the sort of the deer horns and kind of the wreath to make it a little bit more of like a fertility thing. So yeah. And I keep there's a bunch of these masks and they're all very disturbing. Some of them even have weird teeth. But this is the one I keep in the room. The rest of them are all still up in Wyoming in storage. Oh god. All right, there we go. Let's see here. So if there is a problem, you have too many objects to figure out which is the issue. So if there is a problem, you have too many objects to figure out which is the issue. If I have a problem, the thing is about the latex ones are they will fade, they will die, they will decompose. So like the weird baby thing, that thing will fall apart in probably like 10 years. That thing will just literally decompose because latex fragments. It pretty much at the moment it's exposed to oxygen, it starts decomposing. So that one will go away eventually. That one will just die. I'll probably keep the mechanical ones with the logs just because I like the eyes, and the eyes are sculpted. Oh, my health. Yeah, these are the things making me sick. Clearly, yeah. These are the bad vibes that I'm killing myself with. I love that mask. I still want one. I mean, yeah, I'll bring some back and give you one, Upper Soria. Cultists in the U.S. wish they were this cool. Agreed. If your health starts to come back as it does. Yeah, exactly. All right. I have babbled far too long. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed the little... all the weird little props I still have just in my... stuck in my apartment from the movie. I would wear it everywhere. This should be marketing. It's kind. I mean, it could be. Yeah. Not. Have a great night. Yes. Take care, Cryptid. Love you all. Take care. Very fun. See you in the day that is next. Yep. And let's see. Who do we got on? Who is on right now? So let's just go ahead and say hello to. Let's just drop in and say hi to the Terrible Novelist. Boop boop boo. And was right there for all those that are going to keep working. Have a great rest of your day working. I will see you all tomorrow. Love you all. Be safe with the weather. Take care. Be kind to yourselves. And we will catch you all next time.